Okay, so let us recap the yesterday's class concept, that is splitting the tree. Okay, so from the root node, the decision tree will be split into three branches or three subtrees, one for each of the three values of the outlook variable as we have discussed. That is, for one sunny, one branch will be sunny, one branch for rainy, and in the center I have put overcast yesterday. Okay, so the data for the root node, the entire data will be divided into three segments. Okay, the sunny branch will inherit all the data for the instances that had a sunny as a value of the outlook, that has a sunny as the value of the outlook. So similarly, the branch rainy will have all the values, that is going to inherit the data instances that has the outlook as rainy. And overcast, we will have it like that only because there is no inheritance, like because it was an error free. Okay, so there were no errors, 2 yes, 2 no, so 0 error count, we got it 0 by 4. Okay, so overcast doesn't have any further segments or branches. So those things we have discussed, and we have discussed how to compute, how to calculate, why are we doing that, what is the value. So we justified by explaining why the each split is, and how do we determine this split as the node names sunny, rainy, and why the answer we got it as a 5 row table data for rainy and sunny. So these things we have discussed yesterday. Okay, so the next topic is determining the next nodes of the tree. Means for sunny, again it has to be branched. For rainy, again it has to be branched. Now let us take the parameter sunny, because already elaboratively we know and we understood the complete concept and the logic back of the computation technique or the method. Okay, so we will quickly do this. Okay, so have a pen and paper with you, book and pen, like yesterday we will do, but we will not spend so much of time. We will quickly complete it. We will quickly complete it. Are you able to hear me?
Yes,
Are
ma'am.
you able to hear me? Okay, so like yesterday we have to do it now. Now sunny alone is the parameter, but we have to find out the next level nodes. Means we need to determine the nodes for the tree branched as sunny. So under sunny, I need to derive. So what are those two values? Based upon the temperature, okay, the humidity and windy. But here, first we take the temperature. So immediately I have to check for whether the temperature is hot, mild, cool. Okay, hot, mild, cool. So when I see from the perspective of the data from sunny, so what are the values I'm going to get? Mild as S. Okay, because see the slide content, why I'm talking to you mild only, because the play is yes there. They already, the data set is saying play is yes, isn't it? Are you getting? Are you getting what I'm telling you?
Yes.
Okay, done. So now similar way of recursive logic, we have to use it to build the tree. So which should be applied to each of these branches called as sunny and rainy. Okay, so now let us consider the sunny branch, which is on the left hand side of the root node outlook. Okay, so and all the error values are calculated for three variables for sunny alone. What are the three variables from the table, from the content displayed in the PPT? Temperature, humidity, windy. So now we need to take the attribute as temperature. Now what we have done it yesterday for outlook, now the temperature is the attribute in the first column. Now the second column, I need to bring out the 2 or 3 rules. So what are the variables which are there for the temperature column? See the slide and answer to me. What are the values which are there under the temperature column?
Hot, mild, cool.
Hot, mild, cool. Write it down. The 3 rules will come in the second column, that is rules column. Hot, mild, cool. Now hot gives no. Are you getting that? because there are two rows with a hot temperature value and the play column value is giving the answer as no, correct? So the first rule is hot gives no. Then what is the next value under the temperature? Mild. Mild gives what? See the corresponding value from the play. Let us take
No.
first no. First value is no. Okay. Next, cool temperature. Yes. So we have to see for all the variants of the predictions, isn't it? Okay. And the more or less, when we are making a correct decision, cool temperature means always we can go and play, isn't it? Mild also, we can go and play or we may not play. But according to the data set, already what it is given for sunny, even the temperature is mild, we may not go and play. Are you getting? Because sunny weather, see, you need to correlate sunny with respect to temperature and you need to correlate with the humidity and the windy. Now, right now, humidity, windy, you don't think also. Second column, third column, you assume or imagine it that it is hidden value. I don't have to look into the second column, third column. I need to look only first column and fourth column. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point? Say yes or no. Okay. So now the three rules are there. Hot gives no, mild gives no, and cool gives yes. Now, what is the number of errors we are trying to find it out? Hot gives no. How many are there in this data set? Hot gives no. How many no's? How many yes? Not in this table. To be frank, we need to look into the data set. We need to look into the data set, the actual data set. Hot gives no, no, 2. 2, right? See the value from the content of the slide, what I have displayed to you. How many no's are there corresponding to hot temperature?
2.
How many yes are there for hot temperature?
2.
2, right? Wonderful. Good answer. So when 2 yes, 2 no are there, so what is the error count? 0 by 2, correct? How many occurrence of no with respect to hot? It is denominator. How many yes are there? 2. So it is balanced. So there is a tie between the hot with respect to play no, hot with respect to play yes. So 0 divided by 2 is the error. Got this? What we have done yesterday, same way we are trying to do the analysis. Correct? Correct, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Quickly give me the answer for mild gives no. Mild gives no. See, fourth row, mild gives yes. Fifth row, sorry, not fifth row, seventh or eighth row, mild gives no. So we are talking about mild gives no. So one count I got it. Anywhere mild gives no is there? No. So we got how many? Mild gives no is 1. Mild gives yes is what? 1. How many? Okay, what is the
Ma'am, mild
denominator? 1 by?
2, ma'am.
Wonderful. 1 by 2 is the answer. Then cool gives yes. Cool gives yes. What is the denominator? Cool gives yes. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So cool gives yes. Cool gives yes. So we get the denominator is 1. Okay. Numerator becomes 0. So 0 by 1 is the answer. So what is the total errors? Summation of all the denominator values means the 5 rows are there, no? Hot, hot, mild, cool, cool. Sorry, cool, mild. From the sunny perspective we are talking about. Not from all. Please don't get the confusion from the data set. Okay, see, data set gives the answer for sunny, overcast, rainy, 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 overcast. But we are supposed to look into only sunny. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows only we need to take for computing the table. What I am asking you to do it today. Are you getting? Or shall we use the whiteboard and I'll explain you there? Once again, I'm asking you, or can we do it like this only by analyzing the data set from the PPT? Please answer to me. I'm asking you, can we use the whiteboard and do it, or can we do it like this only by looking into the original data set, and we can go ahead with formulating our next node to be determined?
This is only okay, ma'am.
This is only okay. Good. Because you understood, yes, that is yesterday's concept means today's class will be very easy to analyze and quickly we can do. We need not spend this much of time to prepare 3 rows of information with the 3 errors and the total error value, isn't it? Let me go to the next. See, there are 5 rows, right? So the denominator is 5. So what are the 3 errors we have found it out? Hot, okay, hot gives no, mild gives what? No,
No.
mild, sorry, cool gives yes, correct? Cool gives yes. So what does the errors we got it? 0 by 2, 1 by 2, 0 by 1. So what is the total error computed? 1 by 5. 1 by 5. So similarly, we need to go back to the same data set. Now you forget or imagine it that there is no temperature column at all. Just see the humidity column. Humidity got how many values? 2 values, high and normal. Now see the corresponding play value. No, 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 yes. Correct? Correct? You just forget now temperature and windy under sunny, the table of 5. 4 divided by 5 table, sorry, 5 divided by 4 table I have given, no, 4 attributes and 5 rows on the slide. So now we need to consider humidity. So what are the rules you can give it for humidity? Parameter is humidity. I'm asking you, write down. Parameter is humidity. What are the 2 rules?
High, normal.
Huh?
High, normal.
High and normal. So now write down quickly. High gives no is one rule. High gives no is one rule. And normal gives yes is another rule. High gives no is one rule. Normal gives yes is another rule. Now let us quickly find out the error count. Error count. So under sunny, for the high humidity, play is no. So all the instances are correct, right? All the instances are correct, right? Because there is no data, yes. Correct, right? So whatever the prediction I'm trying to do, that is the correct prediction or correct decision I'm making. When it is sunny, when it is high humidity, no outdoor play can be played. Correct? So error free you will get. So 0 by how much? 0 by 3. How many times the high is occurring? Occurring high is 3. So 0 by 3 is the answer. Now normal is yes. I am deriving the decision rule as normal is yes. But from the table I am getting sunny normal no, sunny normal yes. So then what is the meaning? When I say normal gives yes, normal gives yes, there is one no, one yes. So there is a tie between yes and no as the value for normal as the humidity. So then what is the error? What is the error? Tell me. We are done.
0.
Yeah, wonderful. 0 by 2 is the answer. Quickly write down. 0 by 2. Then what is the total error? Add the numerator and denominator. So our denominator is obviously 5, no doubt about it. So 5 is the common for all the three attributes: temperature, humidity, windy, under sunny. Okay. So what is the value? What is the value now?
0 by
Yeah, 0 divided 5 is the 0 divided by 5 is the total error. Now quickly give me the answer for windy. Now the windy is the attribute in the first column. Two rules only, that is false, true. So now let us derive the decisions as false gives no, because you can make an observation. First row false gives no, say third row false gives no, fourth row false gives no. So that is one decision. But true got both the values, no problem. But let us take true gives yes. Write down. False gives no, true gives yes. Because always we need to see for either play or play. Means we are going to play or not going to play. Always we cannot say we are not going to play only. Then it's a wrong decision. Okay. So false gives no is the one decision. True gives yes is the another decision. Now, how many occurrences are coming for the false? In terms of no, 3, right? 3 times the false, 3 times the no, correct? So all the predicted decisions are correct decisions. So your error count is 0 by 3. Write down quickly. Sorry, not 0 by 3. 1 minute. Give me.
by 3.
1 by 3. Correct? Correct, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Next. True gives yes. True gives yes. Denominator is 2. Correct? Denominator is 2, right? Okay, let us see the answer here. Okay, so 1 by 2. 1 by 2. So answer is 2 by 5. So similarly, we need to compute the value with respect to rainy also. So rainy again, temperature. Okay, rainy, temperature, but luckily we don't have the three values here, only mild and cool. So mild 3 times, cool 2 times. So denominators are here. See, mild is 3 times, the cool is 2 times, and we are getting the resultant value of play as mild s, cool s, cool no, mild s, mild no. So let us take the decision rule as mild gives yes, cool gives yes, because both are favorable temperatures. Mild temperature also we may go and play. Cool temperature also we may go and play. It is not like we're not going to play. Okay. So in that sense, the error count will be mild 1. Okay. So it is 1 by 3. 1 by 3 or 2 by 3? I think 1 by 3. Yes, 1 by 3. So cool is again it is 1 by 3. Okay. So similarly, we try to find out for humidity. Okay. So we try to find it out the values of rules and the errors for windy. So in this sense, we get 2 by 5, 2 by 5. And what is the answer for windy? 0 by 5 is the total error. So for the rainy branch, okay, so we need to make an analysis which should be run it on the rainy value of the tree. So the data set we need to depict, means we need to make use of the data set 6.4 for such kind of an analysis with respect to the rainy branch. So it can be similarly be seen that the variables windy gives all correct answers, and none of the other variables makes all the correct decisions. So this is how the final decision tree will work and will be derived and constructed. So here we are going to construct our produce. So we are assuming that we are sitting and working out in the Veka tool. Veka is one of the open source data mining platform. We have seen this in the previous concepts. Okay. And we are using the Veka tool and we are trying to construct the model or the decision tree for this kind of a data set. And this is the model that gives the complete knowledge of the past data of decision, and the look and feel of the tree is something like this. So this is the tree. This is the tree. So this is being generated and the snapshot has been captured in Weka. Okay. Outlook is our root node. Outlook is further branched into three: sunny. Outlook is equal to sunny. Outlook is equal to overcast, and Outlook is equal to rainy. And is equal to overcast when it was, when there were no errors. All the four decisions what we made were perfectly correct. So yes, 4 comma 0. Then under sunny, we have to compare humidity as the parameter or attribute. So under humidity, the two possibilities: high humidity, normal humidity. And when the humidity is very high, okay, no is the answer, because 3 times the high has come, 2 times the normal has come, and the play can be played in the outdoor game when the normal humidity is there under sunny. So please make an observation. This has been automatically generated when we give the data set in the Weka tool, and the decision tree for the weather problem, what we have considered and analyzed from last 3 classes, is being given. Now, the question is, okay, the decision tree can be used to solve the current problem. Now, one more problem I can ask you to solve it. When there is a sunny outlook and hot temperature, sunny outlook, hot temperature, humidity is normal, windy is true, then what could be the answer for play? Answer for play. So when we see according to this problem statement, according to the given tree, the first question is asking about the outlook. So what is the outlook? When I say outlook is sunny, yes, outlook is sunny. So the decision problem moves to the branch sunny. Okay. So when it moves to the branch sunny of the tree, then the sub tree, the next node is the humidity. Okay, so the next node in the subtree is humidity, but in our problem humidity is normal, but I said temperature is high. Temperature is high or hot, right? So the branch leads to the answer yes as the play. Yes as the play. So like this we are going to answer the questions by looking into the decision tree and analyzing and giving the perfect decision or perfect or correct prediction. Okay, so then when we are constructing the tree, so we will learn lot of lessons, means we will learn lot of logics and concepts. Okay, so when we see the decision tree and the lookup table or the data set lookup table, so there are four important benefits we can see. So the four important benefits of the decision tree, when it is being compared with the lookup table, we can justify that based upon the parameters like accuracy, what is that, ease of use, simplicity, then what do you call it as generality, right? So what is the accuracy level in terms of decision tree? It is going to vary. When I say play is S, need not be necessary for next decision it has to be S. So it is going to be varied with a level of accuracy. But when it comes to the table lookup, no, so it is 100% accurate. And generalization, when I say, so always the decision trees are very much generalized and applies to all the circumstances. But when it comes to the lookup table or the data set, it applies only when there is a similar case of occurrence of the data with respect to the earlier data or the past data, or it might have had a past earlier data which has been occurred. Then simplicity means it is very simple, and decision trees are only one decision tree will draw it for any kind of a problem, and maximum two levels of the values will be added or will be required to construct this. But when we see the lookup tables, it cannot be done like that. We may have all the variables necessary to use it. In this example, all four variables are very much required to solve our problem. So when outlook is the root node, so I need to consider temperature, I need to consider humidity, and I need to consider windy. So outlook, temperature, humidity, windy. So all four variables are required. Okay. So that is one more thing. Then ease of use, yes, logically very much easy to understand, easy to constructed the decision tables, but when it comes to the table lookups, so it can be a little bit complicated to look up because no understanding of the logic will be there behind the decision. So simply we might have got yes, 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 no, no, true, true, false, false, something like that. Okay, so there are a lot of observations we can make it when we are constructing the trees like this. Okay, whether our predictive accuracy is very much 100% when we complete the tree construction to fit the data. Okay, so in the real time circumstances or situations, so perfect predictive accuracy is not at all possible, I don't say, but it may not be possible 100% for making the decision trees to be constructed with 100% accuracy. For the larger data set, the complicated data sets with many more variables, okay, it is very much very difficult to put forth all the variables onto the tree and all the variable subdivisions, the subtrees, branches, criterions. It's very much cumbersome, I could say. So that is one observation. Then the decision tree algorithm selected the minimum number of variables that can be required to solve the problem. So that also we have seen with respect to the outdoor gameplay as a case study from last 3 to 4 classes. Okay, so this is a wonderful observation that the decision tree algorithm selects one that is very useful and one that is not so useful, it will discard it. So that is one observation under a decision tree construction. Then the decision trees are almost symmetric with all the branches being the very much similar in the lengths also. So you can make an observation. Okay, so root level, then the next level, then the next level. So you can see from the just now constructed the tree. Okay, then it may be also possible to increase the predictive accuracy by making more subtrees also. It is not like I have been considered outlook and the what is that called as temperature and humidity windy, so you can still go further. Okay, so the levels can be increased and a perfectly fitting can be done to capture the random variations and random variables of the data. So it may fit all the trained data set very well in the decision tree. So that is also one of the observation we can make. And always better to have a single tree or a single best tree in the decision tree algorithm for the kind of the data set what you are handling. There could be, however, two or more equally efficient decision trees can be constructed with a similar length or the similar kind of a predictive analysis for the accuracy for the same data set. But we will try to have strictly that whatever the patterns of the data which is available in my data set, I try to correlate and I need to understand and I need to predict that not too many multiple keys or multiple values I'll use it. I'll use the minimum and I'll try to give the better 100% accurate prediction. So that is one more observation. Then comes the decision tree algorithm as the next topic. But already we are done with it. Now we need to give only the steps. So let me see that I have placed the content. Okay, this is the lessons from the construction of the decision tree. What I was talking to you, it has been put it on a table 6.1 from the textbook. Okay, so I think that I didn't put it, so I'll add that now the content to the class. Okay, so the next topic is the decision tree algorithm. So can we just say what are the steps we have done it so far from last 2 to 3 classes as we have seen and understood and learned. Decision tree works on some kind of a data structure concept. Can you just recollect it? Data structure. So there is one method which normally even we have used it in the decision tree. What is that method? Is it the outlook is divided into three, right? Based upon the three values available in the data set given to us. One is sunny, one is rainy, another one is overcast. Correct. So what is the word you will get it when I say that? Divide and conquer, right? Are you there with me? I'm asking.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the decision trees normally worked it out are constructed with respect to the method divide and conquer method. Okay, so the data is being branched at each node. So the data is being branched at each node according to the criteria. So until unless all the data are assigned to the leaf node, so it will be doing it in a recursive fashion. So that's why from last two classes, we have done a recursive logic applicable and we derived the three tables. Okay, we considered all the parameters and all the values and the predicted decision rules also we made, and we could find it out what are the errors with respect to each decision rule made by that particular value of the attribute, and what is the final prediction in terms of yes or no as a value with respect to play. Okay, so now we are in a position to derive or make a pseudocode. I'm not giving you the exact code with respect to Java or with respect to R program, anything. We are talking in terms of a simple English, okay, a step-by-step process, which we normally call it in a programming language as an algorithm. Okay, so now we are trying to make a pseudocode or an algorithm to be created to make or construct a decision tree. So what is the first step I explained you from yesterday's class? The data set is given. What is the next thing we have done? The problem is given. What is the first step? Why we got the outlook, and what was the outlook in the decision tree? Outlook is an attribute. Outlook was a attribute in our data set. What did we do as a first step in the construction of the decision tree? We created the root node, right? We created the root node, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So after creating the root node, what we have done? We assigned all the training data to that particular root node. So that is sunny, overcast, and rainy. Then after that, what we have done, the second step, we have learnt today and even yesterday, selecting the best splitting node or an attribute according to certain condition. Okay, the second step I'll repeat, selection or selecting the best splitting attribute according to certain condition. Why we have gone for humidity? That is the reason. So we need to select the best splitting attribute according to the criteria or according to the best condition to give the correct or 100% accurate decision. Okay, so after selecting the attribute humidity, after selecting the attribute windy, what we have done? We have added the branch to the root node. We have added the branches to the root node. So adding a branch to the root node for each value of the split, we have done it as outlook, sunny, rainy, overcast. Under sunny, again it is humidity. So the third step is split the data into mutually exclusive data set until you are going to stop the condition reached. Means until you are going to reach to the last level leaf node, it has to be recursively processed. So now step number 5 is repeat the steps, that is selecting the best splitting node, adding the branch to the splitting root node. Okay, then the split node by mutually exclusive subset to be given with a specific split. So this has to be repeated. So step 3 and 2. Okay, so step 2, that is selecting the best splitting attribute, then adding the branch to that attribute has to be repetitively for each and every leaf node until you are going to reach the stopping condition. Until you are going to reach to the stopping condition. So there are many algorithms for making the decision trees. So the decision tree algorithms are going to differ only with the three key elements. Just I'll give you, we have done already these things. One key element is splitting condition or splitting criteria. Then the second one is stopping criteria. Then the third one is pruning. Okay, pruning. So what is the splitting criteria? Already we have seen. So what is the variable which is used to split or first split in our data set? And how should one determine the most important variable for the first level of the branch or subsequent for each level of the subtree? So algorithm is going to measure the least error, right? So here we have understood that outlook is our first root node and the split, the three splits we have done, but the two splits are further going to be sub-branched, that is sunny and rainy. So then what values are supposed to be used for the split also we addressed. So if the variable have a continuous value such as age or blood pressure in a patient data set, then we need to take the range of values. But here in our data set, it was not having any range of values. It was very fixed: low, high, moderate, mild, cool, normal, hot, like that. And even true or false for windy. Play means yes or no. Okay. So it was very specific data set. But as the data set is going to vary from one another, so you need to see that if you are going to apply the, you are going to do the split and consider what values of the split to be considered for the best accurate decision to be made, means you need to see the data set. So for example, if a blood pressure, BP, or an age factor of a patient, you are looking from the patient perspective, then the value will be the range. So you need to use the range of values which can make the bins, means which can make the bins, and you can again think that how many branches should be allowed to may constructed for each node. And there could be a binary tree, or with just two branches at each node, or there could be more branches also. That depends on the data set. You cannot always depend that what we constructed will be there for every data set and every kind of a domain data what you are handling it for constructing the decision tree. The next thing is, as I said, splitting criteria is the one key element. The second one is the stopping criteria. Okay, up to what we are going to stop it, even that also we have seen for the case study. Okay, when to stop building the decision tree. So there are two major ways to make the determination for the stopping criteria. So the tree build can be stopped when the criteria of the depth of the branches will be reached and the tree becomes unreadable after that. Means there are no further values can be further digged into, so you can stop it. Then the other one is the tree can also be stopped whenever there is an error level, like overcast. No, we stopped in the we stopped after the outlook overcast. Yes, it is 4,0, correct? No, so that also makes us to define that there is a stopping condition. So no further divisions, no further sub branches will be derived for the overcast. But for sunny and rainy, there was a possibility to go ahead for the another two levels of data. So then the last key element with respect to the decision tree is pruning. Okay, so pruning is kind of reducing the size of the decision tree by removing the sections. Okay, sections of the tree which can be providing the values. So the decision tree could be trimmed to make more balanced one. So we cannot construct a tree with 100 nodes and 100 sub branches, but you need to check that how could we apply this, the symptoms of overfitting the tree data, how much depth the too many branches I'm going to construct, and whether it is going to create or reflect any anomalies due to the random noise or outliers which are going to consider. Okay, so instead of that we can do the pruning. So pruning is often done after the tree is constructed. So there are two appropriate appropriate approaches to avoid the overfitting. So one is pre-pruning and another one is post-pruning. So when I say pre means previous, in advance. So pre-pruning means to halt the tree construction early when certain condition is met. The downside of the tree, it's very difficult to decide that what criteria to use it to halt the construction, because we won't be in a position to know that what happens when subsequently the tree keeps on growing. Okay, so then post pruning means actually removing the branches or the sub trees from the fully grown tree, means fully constructed tree. So this method is very much commonly used in the realistic applications of the supervised learning, machine learning technique. Okay, so here the algorithm which is being used is C4.5 algorithm, which is a decision tree construction. C.4, C4.5. C is the capital C, so capital C, CART algorithm it is called as. Okay, C4.5 is an algorithm which is used as a statistical method to estimate the errors at each node of the pruning. So the most popular decision tree algorithms are CART algorithm, C5 algorithm, and CADE, or CHADE, how they pronounce. It's a chi-square actually. Chi-square, CHA means chi, okay, square, automatic. A stands for, CH stands for chi-square, A stands for automatic, I stands for interaction detector. So it is a CIDE, CADE or CIDE. Okay. So C4.5, what I said, the algorithm, it is an iterative algorithm, and it is also been called as a ID3 algorithm. And the CART algorithm is nothing but, the CART is an abbreviation for classification and regression tree algorithm. And the basic algorithms which are being used to construct the popular decision trees can be constructed. So when the trees are constructed, so always the parameters which we normally use it to check is the types of the data, what the types of the splits we need to take, and what is the splitting criteria, and what is the pruning criteria, and how are we going to implement, whether we are going to implement it publicly, which is available, or whether the publicly available algorithms with most packages are required, or there is again fast growth, that is there any search for the segmentation. So this completes the decision tree topic for the day. Any doubts, please ask.